Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to the Becoming Hers channel. If you are new here, welcome back. I feel like we took a little break. I wanted to revamp and do a lot of things, but if you are new here, my name is Kayla, and this is Becoming Hers. This is a space where we talk about healing, nervous system awareness, softness, unlearning survival skills, especially for Black women. And today, I want to start back at the basics. Like, it's a new year. I want to do things a little bit different. I don't know why I just cracked my nails like that, but my knuckles like that. But still, I want to like start incorporating more of like different things. So throughout this month, I'm going to break down healing into 4 steps. It's notice it, name it, nurture it, navigate it. So let's get into it.
This is softness in a silk robe. This is becoming Harris energy.
Notice it is the first step of healing in my 4N method. Most Black women don't start healing with acknowledgement because we were never taught to acknowledge ourselves. We were never taught to put ourselves first. We were taught to put everyone else's needs first, their comforts, their expectations. So, how will we know how to acknowledge ourselves when our whole lives were built around becoming last? Survival was required, strength was celebrated, and pushing through kept the world moving. So slowing down enough to notice what we feel was not modeled. And for many of us, it wasn't safe. That's why we struggle with acknowledgement. We don't know how to notice what we feel or who we are through what we feel. We just move through the world triggered, overwhelmed, and exhausted without language for any of it. And sometimes we can be anxious, but it shows up as aggression. Sometimes we're sad and it can turn into numbness. Sometimes we're overwhelmed, but it shows up as being burned out, overworking, or just emotionally shutting down in general. And specifically for Black women, we don't have the room to name what we feel, to fall apart, to pause and just like, let me regroup myself. We're put into this box of survival, the strong Black woman trope of survival where we're only allowed to be strong and only strong, and that's only it. I used to wear the strong Black woman badge like it was honorable, like it was like the best thing in the world. I was proud of it. But when I started healing, I realized my body was always lit. It was always on go, it was always on fire. I was always being prepared, like always in the state of preparing, always bracing, always on go, always anticipating. And for me, like I'm learning, like that's not strength. That was exhaustion dressed up as resilience. And once I started healing, I started to learn what healing really was and what it wasn't. Healing gave me the language for life. I used to hate myself and never knew why. I struggled with my anxiety. And I lied to myself about my depression for years, not because of like other people, but because I was afraid to meet the version of me underneath all of the survival. So I kept saying like I'm fine. I'm just gonna push through. I'm just gonna, be strong. Like I'll worry about that later. But the truth was healing for me and learning about healing and seeing what the world present healing as was not like bubble baths and candles and shopping sprees and quick fix and you just slap a band-aid over it. Healing is not a quick fix, let's just say that. It's not erasing the pain and it's definitely not reinventing yourself into some new soft life ecstatic baddie. Healing is very fucking messy, it's very uncomfortable. It is grief because you are shedding so many versions of yourselves and so many versions of yourself that kept you alive for a long period of time. Healing is remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. It's not becoming someone new, it's coming home to who you always were. And this is why noticing comes first. Noticing is the first step because you can't heal what you won't acknowledge. You can't heal what you refuse to name. When you skip noticing, the pain does not disappear. It just runs your life quietly in the background. Unacknowledged pain shows up in relationships, friendships, the way you talk to yourself, your work life, or let's just say career, and how we navigate or just in general move through the world. It shows up It shows up as defensiveness, emotional distance, people pleasing, irritability. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but irritability and constant exhaustion. We avoid noticing because noticing requires us to be honest. Sometimes it is hard to be honest with ourselves. Honesty makes us feel what we've been running from for a long period of time, but noticing is how healing begins. You have to be honest with yourself in this journey. You have to be honest with where you are and how you feel, and just saying, you know what, I noticed this about myself. And though I don't want to notice this shit about myself, I have to acknowledge it because acknowledging opens the door for so many other things to come in. When I started healing and noticing like all the things, I noticed that me noticing myself in real time was like pausing before I was like snapping on people, before I was like, I'm gonna slap this bitch, before I was like, well, let me anticipate this, or let me create a scenario for this, let me be prepared for this. It is becoming an observer of yourself. It is noticing your patterns, your triggers, what bothers you, what doesn't bother you, what drains you, what makes you feel safe, and what doesn't. I feel like a lot of times Black women suppress emotions that threaten that strong survival Black woman cage that people put us in: anger, sadness, fear, frustration. Expressing them risks being labeled as aggressive, dramatic, or weak. So when we pause instead of pushing through, we create room for us to say, you know what, I'm noticing that this thing is triggering me. I'm noticing that this is making me sad. I'm noticing that this is what makes me happy, or this is what's straining me, or this is not what I want for myself. Noticing creates room for you to understand before you react. A lot of people think noticing equals fixing. I noticed it, so it's gone. I understand it, so I'm healed. If pain comes back, I must be feeling. But noticing is not a resolution, like everything's supposed to be done. Like, I noticed this and I'm done healing. Noticing is bringing awareness to where you are, what you're thinking, how you feel when things come up. Noticing is, in essence, acknowledgement. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is not fix, but witness and say, okay, that was traumatic, or that was triggering, or that shit pissed me off, or this was what makes me happy, this is what makes me sad, this is what makes me feel like I'm in love, you know? Rushing to fix interrupts the healing process all the time. When you rush to fix something, it pushes emotions underground, where in the future they may come back later very much heavier than before. But when we don't notice ourselves, we live reactive lives. We're always defending, always responding, always explaining, always on edge. I remember this one time, me and this person, we almost bumped into each other. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Like, I'm not no rude person. Like, we almost bumped into each other. You didn't say it first. I'm just like, oh, excuse me. Like, I didn't mean to almost bump into you, even though you saw me, you almost bumped into me too. And they responded like so rudely for no reason. The old me would have reacted. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been ready to argue, ready to defend, ready to go off. But I noticed something. And in that moment, I had to stop and pause. Like, this doesn't trigger me. Like, that shit don't bother me. I realized that whatever this person had going on that day had nothing to do with me. Noticing taught me that not everything deserves a reaction. Some people are genuinely at war with themselves, and they will spill that energy outwards on the littlest things in the world. I don't live my life fighting the world anymore. I don't live my life trying to prove or be ready to defend. I don't live my life like that anymore. I literally live my house. I literally live my life like gumdrops and rainbows. Like, my life is beautiful. If things need to be addressed, I will address it. I'm not afraid to say shit to nobody. But I'm not out here just like reacting to people just because of the littlest things. That shit does not bother me. What I'm learning is that noticing is an act of self respect, especially for Black women, because it gives us permission to slow down and acknowledge ourselves, something we were never taught to do. Noticing is self love, because when you notice, you understand yourself instead of reacting from old wounds. Coming home to yourself means becoming your own safe place. You are your home in essence, and when there is no place inside of you, everywhere you go will feel chaotic. Everywhere you go will feel traumatic, or no, I'm not gonna say dramatic, but not peaceful. Noticing brings you back to your home base, your foundation, what grounds you, what makes you whole. That is why noticing matters. Okay, so before we end this video, I want to give y'all one practice y'all can do. One thing you can do today um, by noticing is sitting with yourself. What do you notice? One feeling, it could be one thought, one tingle, one sensation in the body, and be honest about it because that is where healing starts. It's with honesty and acknowledging what you feel in your body. So, say you had a bad day and you wanted to sit with yourself and say, okay, why is my day bad? Like, what am I noticing about my day? What happened in my day to make my day bad? Acknowledge it and notice it and hold space. You don't have to fix it right now, but you can definitely hold space. Also, I have a PDF prompt for this video that I am selling on my. I'm not going to sell the first one, but the next week one I'm going to sell. So this week's PDF prompt will be on my website, becomehers.com, and it is free. You can go check it out. But the rest of them for the rest of the month will not be free. So, ciao.